There's been a lot of big news coming out about Microsoft and Bethesda things, so we're going to touch on a few different topics today. One major thing I wanted to talk about right now, though, at the beginning of this video is just a farewell to Pete Hines, the senior vice president, head of publishing for Bethesda Softworks. He announced his decision to retire, and I believe this was on the 16th. I completely missed this. I don't know how I didn't notice this at all, but, you know, Pete was a really cool dude. He was really in touch with the community. I remember back in my days of doing mod videos and stuff, I asked him a question on Twitter about something and he surprisingly replied, and I think I used it in a video. I can't really remember, and it was so long ago I don't even know if I'd be able to find the tweet. But yeah, I mean, just a really cool dude. And honestly, he's put up with a lot of crap on Twitter and just in general about a lot of the backlash when it came to a lot of things regarding things like Fallout, for example. Specifically like Fallout 76 to be like a major thing. But regardless, Pete has announced his retirement, but has stated that he will still keep in touch with the community. He cannot let it go. He loves this place. And just like any community, the Bethesda fan base could be sometimes toxic. You know, he did put up with a lot of crap. That is severely outweighed, though, by how amazing the community actually is. I mean, like, genuinely, I love to be a part of the Fallout and Bethesda community in general. I say Fallout specifically because that's like where my true heart is. I really love Fallout specifically, but you know, just the Bethesda community in general is really great. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best communities out there, honestly. But yeah, it's great to see that he'll still be sticking around and going forward with his life and pursuing other dreams of his. So, you know, shouts out to Pete Hines, and I hope that you have some amazing adventures going forward in life. That being said, there are still some other Bethesda topics we are going to be talking about today. Specifically, this article is from IGN. Once again, a little old, but it's going to tie into something a little newer right now, and that is that the Elder Scrolls 6 won't come out on PS5. Microsoft documents reveal. We already knew this. I spoke somewhat about this in a previous video, speaking about how, well, you know, Fallout 5 most likely is not going to be on PS5 going forward in the future, just based off of the fact that there is now an exclusivity deal going on with Bethesda and Microsoft after they got bought for $7.5 billion back in 2021. Insane. Of course, this is an amazing opportunity for Bethesda to actually make their games a lot better. And for example, like if Fallout 76 was created more of a recent time and they had this Microsoft deal going on, that game would have came out in a way better and more polished state, and I doubt there would be as much of a backlash towards that game. Obviously, there was a whole lot of other things surrounding Fallout 76, but that's just one little example I could throw out there right now. But this big deal that they have going on between Microsoft and Bethesda definitely helps them polish their games a lot more, and it just gives them overall more resources to work with. A perfect example is the 1-year difference that we've seen in Starfield. Like, I believe 2020 they gave us some footage, and then obviously now the game is fully released, and if you've seen the comparisons between the two, you would know that, yeah, just taking an extra year to work on things, plus once again it was stated that the extra help with all of these other Microsoft resources that they had available to them definitely helped make Starfield even better, and of course they're still working on it going forward right now, continuing to better the game, of course. Anyway though, going back to the article, IGN shares a tweet from Steven Totilo from Microsoft's responses in the FTC versus Microsoft case. Elder Scrolls 6 listed here as Xbox and PC and releasing in 2026 or later. During testimony at the hearing, Xbox's Phil Spencer went on to say the game was at least 5 years out and platforms were technically to be determined. But I mean, Starfield is already an exclusive. It would not come as a surprise that the Elder Scrolls 6 is also going to be an Xbox/PC exclusive, just like Starfield. Now, that really does suck for the PlayStation community. I could throw out a quick theory and say that maybe that this was just a test with Starfield to maybe see how an exclusive game would work from Bethesda. I kind of have a little more optimism since the Elder Scrolls brand, it is such a widely known thing. You know, it's been on both platforms already. We have Starfield as a completely brand new IP, and so maybe they were like they could have been testing the waters with just a brand new IP, seeing how a new Bethesda IP could work just as an exclusive, and then maybe they could try with the Elder Scrolls 6 as, you know, just being back on all platforms, since the Elder Scrolls is such a massive brand. But that being said, that's just a little theory, a little bit of optimism. I'm sure that's not going to happen. I'm sure going forward, this is going to be an exclusive thing. I hope it isn't. Personally, I have nothing to lose from them giving out exclusivity things. I'm on PC, but it sucks because because if you know the roots of my channel, you know that I've come straight from PS4. That's how I started to grow back in the day in the Fallout community, and just I love PlayStation, you know what I mean? I'm a PlayStation guy at heart, and even though I'm on PC, I still wish the best for the PlayStation platform, of course. And just anyone in general, I really feel like they shouldn't be restricted to having to buy a whole new console for like over $500 just to play one singular game. Like, for example, if you're a PlayStation user who doesn't have any other console besides strictly PlayStation platforms, and you really want to play Starfield, and you're planning on getting the special edition of Starfield because you know you're going to end up playing the DLC anyway, then you're looking at $500 for a brand new Xbox, as well as another $100 for the special edition of Starfield. You might as well get the special edition anyway if you're going to be interested in playing the game, because it's $70 already, so what's an extra $30 at that point? So right there, you're looking at over $600. That kind of sucks. I mean, it brings in Microsoft an unbelievable amount of money if people were to just start doing that, like in the masses, which I'm sure it brought in a lot of people over to the Xbox platform, but it really sucks for those who are on PlayStation. Now, in the past, we've seen games that are on other platforms that have exclusivity deals make their way over to other platforms that they weren't previously on without it even being announced beforehand. A bunch of examples I could personally think of is, I mean, on PC strictly, I could think of with the Epic Games Store, they have a lot of exclusivity deals with those games. For example, like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the Borderlands spin-off game, was exclusive to the Epic Games Store, and then like 6 months later it released on Steam. That was a game that I was really excited for, but I like keeping all of my games in one place. It's sort of like Steam is my one particular platform I like to stick with. I really prefer the way that Steam organizes your games, and you can see the playtime way better, and the achievement system is just way better. I just prefer Steam. I love it a lot, and it really sucked that Wonderlands was an exclusive over there, and I didn't know if it was even ever gonna come to Steam, so I ended up getting it on Epic Games, and I played it for a little bit, but I just hate the Epic Games launcher, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I barely touched the game, and then 6 months later it came over to Steam. Similar things do happen on console, and I'm sure that maybe in the future we could potentially even see Starfield coming to PlayStation. But once again, nothing has been announced for this, so we do not know at all. So that is some bad news from the Microsoft situation. Now on to some great news that could potentially make its way over to the Bethesda side of things. So in this other IGN article, it states that Phil Spencer reiterates 100% parity for Call of Duty, no exclusive skins or betas. Now this is something that myself included as a Call of Duty fan from way back in the day has always wanted. I was sick and tired of the exclusivity things. I remember there was a time when Xbox used to have it back in the day, and then PlayStation finally got it when PS4 came out, I believe. And then, you know, the tables were turned, and it was like, haha, screw you, Xbox. But now it seems like things are being turned around, and it's finally back to equality for Call of Duty. There's not going to be any exclusivity. It's all equal. Everyone's getting everything released at the same time. Xbox's Activision Blizzard merge is finally done, but that doesn't mean that Phil Spencer is suddenly ready to reverse course and make Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive. Speaking on the official Xbox podcast, Spencer reiterated that the platform's goal is 100% parity on content across all platforms. He said, quote, "The players on PlayStation and in the future on Nintendo, I want you to feel 100% part of the community. I don't want you to feel like there's content you're missing out on, skins you're missing out on, timing you're missing out on. That's not the goal," Spencer said. "The goal is 100% parity across all platforms as much as we can for launch and content." I wish they would say something about lowering the prices of their unbelievably high skins and all of that on like Overwatch and Call of Duty, but that will never change. So this was news the other day, and it honestly blew everyone's mind, because it's like, you wouldn't expect something like this. You would expect them to want to have exclusivity so that they can make even more money from people switching platforms, but no, this is actually amazing news, and honestly it took me by surprise. A game company is finally giving the fans something they want. wow, this is amazing. But I know that exclusive skins and betas are way different than an entire game coming to a different platform. But I mean, this could kind of be a game changer. Who knows? The way that they're thinking now with the whole exclusivity thing when it comes to like Call of Duty and stuff, maybe this will eventually be a game changer going forward for exclusive games. For example, The Elder Scrolls 6 and potentially even Fallout 5 going forward in the future. I've always hated that games are exclusive on certain platforms. It really sucks because if you are someone who just maybe doesn't have money or something like that to just buy a whole brand new console, but you could afford a game is way cheaper than buying an entire new console. You know, it really sucks that you would not even just buying a whole new console, maybe you just like the way that a PlayStation controller feels compared to an Xbox controller, or maybe you're just not comfortable with using mouse and keyboard on PC and you just prefer, for example, PlayStation, right? It always has kind of bothered me that, yeah, exclusive games are a thing. And yes, I also do mean, yeah, it does suck that, you know, PlayStation has exclusive games too. But either way, I think that this news is really, really big once again from Call of Duty. I know it's unrelated to Bethesda or anything like that, but I really do think that this could kind of tie into our future regarding Bethesda games. But who knows? Obviously, we'll never know for sure. In the end, we'll just have to see how things unfold over the years. No official statements have been made from Bethesda or anything regarding the actual platform releases for The Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5, and I don't think that we're ever going to see it anytime soon, probably not for another 3 or 4 years. But when that time comes, I know that obviously we will know for sure which platforms it'll be released on, and I hope that there will be equality for all consoles, just like there is going to be going forward with Call of Duty. We'll never know for sure until the time comes or another document gets released or leaked or whatever, but that being said, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Also, as of recording this, I did want to point out I was editing this video and forgot to mention, I said that I was going to add in a bunch of Bethesda news and I completely forgot about this. Today is Fallout New Vegas's 13th birthday. Happy birthday, Fallout New Vegas. We love you. Great, amazing games, some amazing memories, and I'm going to make sure to put in some Fallout New Vegas gameplay in this video. I really love that game, arguably one of the best Fallout games of all time. And yeah, had to mention that, forgot about it, but yeah,